Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do an update to the video I covered yesterday, which was titled, My Girl Cheated and Toyed with My Heart Until I Found the RP, Now I Repeatedly Toy with Her Soul. And guys, I'm doing this update because the guy saw the video yesterday, and he wrote in last night giving me some updates and extra information I thought you guys would like. Ordinarily, I might wait a couple days. And if you all recall, because you saw that yesterday, that's about the young guy, he's probably about 21 or 22 now, who shared his story, and I'm sure it was very hard to share that embarrassing story about he went from the complete nice guy, blue pill simp to a boss. And it took him being really jerked around and had his heart and emotions toyed with his ex-girlfriend to get him there. And of course, finding my channel, and I'm sure he found other channels as well, to learn reality. This guy was born again hard, if you will. I can imagine all the jokes, what I just said there. But he's now doing really well. And now he's reached the point that he puts himself first. He makes his wants and needs the priority. He checks girls in their BS. And he has a completely indifferent, take it or leave it attitude with the girls. And of course, because he treats girls like he doesn't care, they're chasing after him. And he now works out in the gym regularly. He's on his grind. He's making something of himself. And I thought it'd be very good one to show you guys, like I said yesterday, that it can be done. You can get rid of the bad programming, if you will, and start again. But it takes time. And you have to. And by the way, he didn't learn this overnight. He had to spend a couple years watching my channel, making mistakes, seeing what to do, what not to do to get there. Because you can't just watch a couple videos and all of a sudden you're going to be miraculously changed overnight. The bad programming ain't going to go away with that quick. You got to spend a lot of time, not just my channel, I'm not the only game in town, other channels, reading books, learning reality, testing things out in the field, getting hurt, to really see how things are and change your mindset and attitude and all that. But he did it, and he's doing great. Now with his update here, he's going to continue on. Some questions that were asked in the comment section, more things that he was doing that as if he didn't get enough smacks from me yesterday, he's going to get more today for the shit he pulled. And I mean, it takes it to a whole new level of him simping back in the day. But this is how he learned, amongst other things. But before I do, real quick, I got a very quick, amusing email from a guy who wrote in about a recent date he went on with a single MOM. He knew darn well not to go out with those types, particularly the one you're going to see here, but he did it anyway, and you'll see about this wonderful experience he went through. So real quick, he says here, hey SSM, this is a short one that I think you will enjoy. So I went on a date with a single MOM. I'm not completely against giving them a chance, but this was an effing disaster. Well, dude, yeah, not everyone is a disaster, and there are some good single MOMs out there. I have to spell out single MOM because YouTube flagged me one time when I didn't. But anyhow, but there's baggage, there's drama, and you're going to see here how he even ended up on the first date with this girl. I can't get. We met on a dating app, and right off the bat, she went on a tirade about how she's tired of being used and cast aside. Well, if you behave in a way that guys see you as someone to use and cast aside, you're going to be used and cast aside. Literally, this was her first message to me. That set off sirens in my head, but I still gave her the benefit of the doubt. Big mistake. Smack. Dude, if her first message to you was her going on a tirade, click, delete, move on. You can't be that desperate for some ass, my man. Right then and there, she showed you who she was, and yet you still went out with her. On the day of the date, she showed up in a stained outfit. Okay. She ate like a pig the whole time, getting her hands way messier than they should eating a simple piece of pizza. On top of that, her cheap lipstick was getting smeared all over her hands too. This is disgusting. I gotta be honest, I think she's doing this on purpose just to see what you'll do. Anybody hear the sirens? I can't escape them wherever I go. During the date, she complained more than once about capitalism, politics, how expensive everything was, and about money that she owed to the IRS. Major red flag in the last part. Check, please. Number one, you shouldn't have got on this date with this gal. But the second you got there, and she looked like a slob, and she was eating and making a big mess, I mean, that's disgusting. Check, please. And by the way, why didn't you meet her for a goddamn drink? Not pizza or food or anything like that. I told you, one quick drink. You'll see who she is. I know it's easy to eat pizza, but still. After I brought her back, I decided I should at least try to get some before I ghost her. Says, how could you tap that? Her looking like a slob, eating like a slob, big fucking mess, bitching and complaining. How would you want to tap that? Since we obviously had different ideas of what was socially acceptable and would not be compatible. I asked if she wanted to go upstairs, and she said no, but thanked me for taking her on a real date. Pizza was a real date. This greatly annoyed me, as she had previously told me that she'd hooked up with a guy without going on an actual date. She claimed she was tricked into sex and lured to his house. She wasn't tricked. She wasn't lured. They don't do anything they don't want to do. She claimed she only came over because she wanted to see his wiener dog. Well, she certainly saw a wiener, that's for sure. I got a kiss out of it, but her breath stank. Bro, you got what you deserve by going out with her. I don't feel bad for you. At least you got a funny story to tell. So I cut my losses early and stopped talking to her. I'm not going to invest in a girl that won't give me sex when she gave it up so many times easily to someone else. She messaged me a few different times and tried to incite a response out of me by saying that her mom had COVID. That's when I spelled it out to her that we shouldn't speak any longer. Well, if it took all that for you to finally ghost her or say that's it, we're not meeting anymore, fine, fair enough, but you should have wasted your time to begin with. Guys, pay attention to these things. If a girl shows you who she is through her actions or her words, or the first message there, don't continue. Don't waste your time. You got a funny story out of it, and that's good. And I got to share your story, and guys are going to get a good laugh. But still, you wasted your evening with her. I'm sure you wasted your money, even if it was for a slice of pizza. You know, but if that's what it took for you to see some reality here, then there you go. And in the future, when you're using dating apps, and some girl goes on a tirade or is complaining or acting like this, don't waste your time. I don't care how hot she is. Okay, on to this guy's update. He says, hello, SSM. I wish you could see the smile on my face when I found out the video last night that you titled My Girl Cheated and Toyed with My Heart, until I found the RP and I repeatedly toyed with her soul was about my story, and I didn't think it was worthy. I guess all the mistakes made it worthy. Dude, my hand is still sore from smacking the shit out of you yesterday. I don't know how you can even talk or get out of bed. Your head must be so sore from all the smacks. I want to say thank you to everyone who commented. I watched the video a bit late as I was working and was at the gym for a couple hours, then was painting pumpkins with my girlfriend. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you. I noticed that I missed a lot. Perhaps you can add this later on a short clip at the beginning. Sorry for the bad English on the first post. It was late. I was up late from the gym and didn't want to stop writing, as I knew that was an embarrassment and it would get to me, and I would end up deleting it. I wanted to show everyone the video, but I cringed listening to my past self. Yeah, I'm sure you did cringe hearing your past self, but you know what? You had to go through all that shit to get where you are today. You know, there isn't one of us that could look back to things we did in the past, maybe how we looked physically, like if we were out of shape and fat, or things we did that were just like, oh my God, I certainly did. But you know what? At this point in my life, my mid-40s, I look back at all the dumbass things I did that are cringeworthy, like you said there, got me to where I am. So if I had to go through all that bullshit, and believe me, present me would go back in time and smack the crap out of past me many times. That's what it took to go through this, so don't beat yourself up. I wanted to say that I deserve more smacks. You really did take it easy on me, but there's a lot of mistakes that I had left out. Like I said, my hand is still sore from smacking you yesterday. I gave her all my passwords for my social media. She didn't want to give me hers, as she said that her friends thought I was controlling. Smack! You gave your girl your passwords to social media? Oh my God, I mean, she had you wrapped around all her goddamn fingers. Did she request this, or you just voluntarily gave it to her to show your true love and commitment to her? And of course, her friends said that if you had hers, you were controlling. These are the same friends you described as a bunch of hoe bags. She made me stop talking with all my friends. I can't thank them enough for keeping me around after all that happened. Smack! You never give up on your bros. She was just trying to isolate you, so you were all she had. You know, and the irony is that the more she molded you into this little, just obedient little servant, that she may claim that she wanted, the less attractive she became out of you. But you were young, you didn't know, you were doing what you thought you were supposed to do. Because I know you met her in like the 10th grade or something like that. And you're lucky your friends are still talking to you. Never do that again. I know you won't do that again. But guys, don't give up your hobbies, don't give up your bros, nothing for a girl. I will never betray my guys again. I also forgot to include how I would see her every day, and that would have got me another smack. Well, my hand's sore. I'm done smacking you for the moment. Yeah. Guys, for your relationship, guys, you shouldn't really see your girl more than twice a week. If you're living with her, then obviously you're going to see her every day. But beyond twice a week, it's too much. You should be working on your job, on your grind, on your purpose, making something of yourself, at the gym, hanging out with your bros, having a life. If you're with your girl all the time, that communicates to her, I got nothing else going on. And she's going to stop seeing you as, she may initially saw you as a prize, a catch, and then she realized you're not much of a catch. And I might add that women get bored very easily. You need to be away from the romance perspective. You need to be away from her so she can think about you, wondering what the hell you're doing, who you're with, maybe giving her a tad bit of uncertainty, be able to miss you. And that way when you're around each other, she'll appreciate seeing you more often. You know, you need to cause those emotions, let her go through those emotions. Do you think the bad boys see their girl every day? No fucking way. Those women are beating down their door to get a chance to see them. And they have to spend all their time wondering what the bad boy is doing, who he's doing, amongst many other things. Does he like me? All the other guys want to spend all the time with me, but this guy doesn't. That makes me attracted to him. Don't do that again, my friend. Twice a week max. That's it. You know? Otherwise, you're going to get what you get. I also wanted to include a small story in here. Around the time I was dating her, I got into a car crash. I was working all day, every day, and it was extremely tired. I ended up falling asleep in the car and swerving off the road. I hit a small tree which made my car go about 5 feet in the air and fell into a 15-foot hole head first. Holy shit, dude. This is when I returned to Jesus. My car was destroyed and I should have died. None of the firefighters, police officers, and paramedics understood how I was alive. It's called, you had one of your 9 lives, my friend. You got lucky. I didn't receive a scratch and not a bruise, and I wasn't even sore. Well, when I was young, I got into a car accident too. Some dumbass drunken asshole hit me, and somehow I barely had a scratch. The car was totaled. His was destroyed. I was in a freaking 1994 Ford Tempo. I was 18 years old, and I just had a burn from the seatbelt going here. That's it. And they couldn't believe I was fine too. Who knows? That's why I decided to turn my life around for the better. I quit the job at the hospital I was working at and dedicated myself to working with my father. I helped him double the income as there was now 2 of us running things. With that came a hefty pay increase from $28,000 to $52,000 a year, plus whatever I make with my investments and bonuses. I also decided to not take any girls seriously. I was all about myself, work, the gym, God, and family was my everything. I refused to ever let a girl hurt me again. Whenever I would meet a girl, I would tell her that I run the show, and if she doesn't like it, she's more than free to leave. Well, you're being a hard ass, and that's what you've become after seeing what happens by being the pushover Mr. Nice Guy. And interestingly, as you all recall in his story, his ex-girlfriend, who constantly just jerked him around, toyed with his emotions, he treated differently compared to the other girls. The other girls, when we started getting a clue and started bettering himself, he had a different attitude towards, and they're chasing after him. But this girl, this ex-girlfriend, his Rachel, he just couldn't quite say no to at first. Eventually he does, and he handles it well. But he just couldn't, he couldn't treat her like the other girls because he wasn't there yet. She really had his mind. But the other girls, he could take them or leave them, and they chased after him. It's the same thing here. And they'll all complain that you're being an a-hole and all that, but you know what? Who do they chase at? Do girls chase after nice guys? Only if they got money and resources and they're ready to settle. They chase after the bad boys that are indifferent and don't give a crap and can take or leave them. I recommended all my friends to your channel. I'm a no-nonsense type of guy now. I don't take shit from anyone, and the girls never leave me alone. See? My girlfriend can't stand it, and she says that I'm a hoe and she doesn't like it. I think she feels threatened. Probably. I think you mean your current girlfriend. Anyway, after the breakup, at the very end, she wouldn't leave me alone. She would call me with a private number so that I couldn't block it. She'd make her brothers and sisters text me that she needed something important to tell her and that she would do anything to win me back. This is his ex-girlfriend. See? You stopped giving her the time of day. You stopped treating her like the queen. You broke up with her. You were done with her. You handled it the right way. And she won't leave you alone. I think this ex of yours, Rachel, loves drama. Now, sure, she's attracted to the new you, and you're strong, and you're tough, and all that. And I think she also just likes to play games. That's what I think. As great as her family was to me, I couldn't do it. When I told her sister what she had done, she tore her a new one, apologized for her sister's behavior, and told her not to talk to me again. Well, that's great. That's nice that her sister tore your a-hole ex-girlfriend a new one and has some loyalty towards you. It took a lot of work to get where I am right now. It wasn't instant. It was a 2-year process to get where I am. See what I tell you guys, it takes time. At first, I began going to the gym 3 times a week, and then I moved to the gym only 8 minutes away from my house. Next to a lake, it's beautiful and has a great equipment. Now I go 4 to 5 times a week, but I also had gained some weight from being with her all the time. So he was working out and hitting the gym when he was with his awful ex, but wasn't going as much and was eating a lot of crap because he was with her. See, there you go. I had to start eating healthy, so I cut out fast food and juice and was on a strict diet of salmon, Greek yogurt, and water as all I ate and drank. Nothing else, no sugars, and I became unrecognizable, and I was a whole new person. That's great, man. You went militant. But here's the thing. I love salmon. It's my favorite fish, but you can have more healthy things than salmon. You know, grilled chicken is the best things you can have. And of course, lots of good vegetables and fruits. And yes, there are sugars in fruit, of course, but they're natural sugars, not sugars from a fucking candy bar or something like that, you know? So you can eat more than salmon, unless like you're OCD and that's all you're going to eat, you know? I'm not a nutritionist or a registered dietitian, but believe me, there's plenty of good healthy food beyond salmon and all that. I now help people at the gym to get to their fitness in order. I also tell them that a strong body is a strong mind, and with real wealth is health. A lot of the guys I've helped have achieved a lot. I'm very proud when I see them working, as I realize no matter how far I've come in my life, there is always a new horizon. Yes, the grind never stops. There's always a new mountain to climb. You are hungry for the next challenge, the next achievement. Good for you. Look at all this knowledge you've gained at the young age of 21, 22. So this is why I say, hearing your story, it makes you want to cringe, but it got you where you are, so it's worth it. I also wanted to talk about my family. I've seen my parents go through all the ups and downs. My parents have worked tirelessly to get my sister through college, and once they accomplished that, their focus moved over to me. I didn't want to go to college as I had seen how hard they had worked and the sacrifices they had made. I don't believe school is a great route, as about 70% of degrees are useless. My parents saved up money for my little sister, and she still has 4 years of school left, and then she's off to college. Well, let me make this clear. Your parents, no doubt, they physically work their tails off to get where they are, and I have great respect for that. And they see for you, their son, and your sister, their daughter, education, the route to not having to physically work your ass off all the time. You always want to keep educating yourself, guys, every day, learning something new. That is the key to success. However, that does not mean you rack up a 6-figure student loan debt majoring in some bullshit degree. That's where I have the problem with it nowadays. If you're going to go to school and spend a lot of money and borrow a lot of money and pay interest on money over time, then you got to major in something that's going to pay a return on your investment. And so I get your parents, they see education, the path to something better. And frankly, them wanting to pay for it is very generous and kind. But I get your point. You don't want to get some bullshit degree, had them spend the money they sweated for on that. So if you can find something that you can do well in and you don't have a degree, you get a certification, a trade, whatever that may be, start a business, I don't know, then okay, great. But if they want to help you, just listen to them, but also explain why. As they already have so much for me lined up. Over time, they built up wealth to have 2 houses in Mexico, semi-mansions at the beach with a lot of land. They invested heavily in Mexico as they didn't have papers yet. They went through the process of making all of us legal. Well, good, I'm glad they did. They wanted to do everything right, never work with a fake social security number, and always paid their taxes, never lied about the amount, and they always have a 6-figure company that's going to be mine one day. And about $600 grand in toys, lots of cars, and honestly too much for me. So your parents came here and physically worked their asses off, but they lived cheap, obviously, took that money and invested it in buying land and houses and property, and then started a business, it sounds like, and then were able to buy, as you described, the toys. Okay. But I'm sure your parents, they have their nice things, but still put away money every single month, every week. I want to make it alone, but I cannot say no to them, as in our family, the men split what the parents have, and I being the only son, I get everything. My sisters get money and an education, and I promise that if they ever need my help, then I will be there for them. I get you want to make it on your own, believe me. And frankly, all guys should make it on their own. But if your parents want to help you and do certain things for you, there's no shame in that. But your parents, and I know you're about to say that they're around 50 years old at this point, they're going to live for a while, so they need to keep that money for them, But if you make it on your own, and one day they give you all this stuff, you can enjoy it, or you can use that for some good in the world that, you feel will be helpful. I don't know. As my parents are about 50, they still have a lot of time left. I'm working towards my goal. I want to have $100,000 net worth by age 23. I'm pretty much almost there. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. You live cheap. You obviously work. I don't know if you live with your parents, but if you're almost there already, that's great. You are light years ahead of most people, my man. Live cheap. Put the money away. Invest in the right places. He says, I also want to get to $1 million by age 28. Hang on, cowboy. I think going from 23 to 28, making 900 grand, that's a lot. I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't know what you do for work. I don't know what other investments you have. But, some people made a lot of money in a short period of time investing in crypto and meme stocks, got in at the right time, got out at the right time. But the odds are, statistically, that's an awful lot. I'm sure you could have a few hundred grand by age 28, because I know you said by 23 you want to have 100 grand, but let's try to be realistic. I'm not trying to crap on your dreams and your ambitions, believe me. But a lot of people have they don't have always the most accurate idea what they can make on investments, because they think, I'll put it in the crypto, I'll put it in the meme stocks or whatever, but work your tail off, live cheap, put that money away, and you'll be doing well. I don't have a doubt that I will complete it. I don't doubt myself and believe I can do anything I put my mind to. Well, that is a good attitude. Many people say that it's delusional, but believe me, you can do it. And working your ass off is 8% of the job. I don't believe in luck. I believe that anything that happens in your life, good, bad, it is your fault. Well, there are things that come along the way that aren't your fault. Let's be honest here. But yeah, a lot of things that happen in your life, it's because the actions you take or the actions you don't take. And I'm all for having the strong mind and going for your goals. And some people may say, yeah, you're delusional, $1 million at 28. I don't think you're going to have $1 million by 28 unless you start a business or you hit the jackpot putting it in something that goes through the roof. I think you can have a hell of a lot by age 28, since you said you're almost at 100 grand by 23. But I'm not trying to crap on you. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't be a friend to you, a mentor, if you will, because some people see me as a mentor, if I didn't tell you what I really thought. But keep grinding, you'll get where you want to be. Sorry for the rambling. I have a thing for speaking. Yeah, I noticed that. I've been called a preacher and I can debate for hours. Well, don't be annoying. You're not annoying to me, but some people may find you annoying if you're always debating. I'm still trying to find my purpose. I feel like a balloon floating around looking for an owner. I hope I can find it soon, but I want to thank you once again, SSM, for all the help. Sorry about saying in the previous video that I once thought that you had no experience. It was because of my programming. I was so deep, I believed you were a toxic man, that women wouldn't do such things. I will forever be in your debt. If I ever visit Florida, I'll be sure to show up with all the IPAs your heart can desire. That should be it for me. I hope I never have to make another appearance on the SSM show. Hopefully not for the bad things, at least. Well, bro, I'm glad you shared your story. And I'm glad you're doing well, and I'm glad you were able to take what you learned here and through your own suffering and misery for that girl to get where you are today. But there's no shame. You're young. Look where you are at 21. Yes, I think the best thing you have is this. You realize now, my life is what I make it. And be ambitious and go for your goals and make things. And, of course, learn not to take shit from anybody. Doesn't mean you go around picking fights and arguments and being some kind of asshole. Like I said, I want you to find the happy medium, the sweet spot where you're a good guy, a good, reliable, good person, but you don't take shit from anybody. End of story. You got boundaries. You check people, not just women, people in general. Because sadly, we're in a world that oftentimes kindness is perceived for weakness, and people will try to take you for it. And if you don't stand up for yourself and check people, women and men, they're going to walk all over you. So that's really, I want to help guys to be in that place. And it takes time. If you spend your whole life being very timid and passive and shy, and speaking up was so scary to you, it's going to take time, but you will get there. And like I said, bro, and to all the guys watching this, I want to make a change in their lives. It's not going to happen overnight. You can have an epiphany overnight and say, I want to have a change, and see something's wrong with the world or you. But you got to take time to really, in regards to my channel here, listening to these videos as often as you can, hearing these real life stories, because they're real stories from dudes that write me in all over the world. You hear enough of these stories and see a pattern with these things, it'll get to the point that you'll know exactly if a situation arose in your life, you know exactly how to handle it, because you'll see where the guys went wrong or where they went right. And as time goes on, you'll be able to watch my videos here, and before I even respond, you're going to know how I respond, or how things are going to go in the story, that type of thing. Then you'll know you're really learning. But bro, I wish you all the best, and give your parents a big hug for being great parents to you and helping you in this world. And I wish you all the best. And by the way, I'm sure your crazy ex Rachel will continue to bombard you with attention, and as you're going places, she's going to be, because her perception of you is that you're still the same guy that she jerked around all those years. And she just can't believe you're a different guy. So she's going to keep bugging you and bugging you and bugging you and putting on weight. You said she put on like 35 pounds. Wait till she's put on 50 pounds and 100 pounds. And her big ass can't squeeze into a pair of jeans. But anyhow, that's for you to get a good laugh out of. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. And also, guys, you got a great personal story to share, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. That also includes any questions you might have for my Ask SSM series. And, of course, if you stumble upon any crazy shit from Reddit that you want to share with me, a long story, a short story, send it my way, send me the link, and I'll definitely use it on the They Do What channel or the SSM Clips channel. And if you're not subscribed to those channels, definitely go over there right now and subscribe now so you can get more of me throughout the day. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.